What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy TheGoulGuy back at you guys yet again with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a team for the Great League remix. Basically we're just going to be using my wife's account. Actually, we're going to be using the Pokemon that I have culminated for her. She's actually in Ace right now. I've been actually doing her battles for her, but essentially this is just a way for me to actually take a break, take a step from the higher rank battles for my account and actually work on essentially building up her account. You know, basically trying to do the same thing for mine, going from Ace to Veteran, but this is basically more or less lower rank Ace battles that we're going to be doing today, essentially using a very anti-meta team. Actually very surprised that this team worked because there's not that much Pokemon that my wife actually has that we have built. So I kind of culminated what she had and kind of made it work for me, and it actually worked out pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, it actually builded up a whole lot of elo, basically going from lower 2000s all the way to 2200s in the Ace rank, which is freaking awesome, not gonna lie. So basically this team consists of Chrajabug, I was about to say Jigglypuff, oh my goodness, Jellicent, and as well as Pidgeot. Yes, Pidgeot. Basically, Pidgeot, Chrajabug, and as well as Jellicent, amazing picks in this meta, amazing picks in this league, just because Chrajabug, really good against the water types. On top of that, since it's able to use X-Scissor, really good against the psychic types, which is freaking amazing, because there's a lot of psychic types between Grumpig and as well as Claydol, and a lot of water types. You know, of course, you got Jellicent and flying types, by the way, so just really good in general, and Greninja and everything like that, just really good in this meta. And then Pidgeot, of course, all the fighting types, essentially Pidgeot works really well, and the fact that Pidgeot is a normal type works really well into the ghost types, unless the ghost type like Dusknoir has a freaking dynamic punch, which can be a little tricky. But anyway, that is the team. Let's get into the IVs of everything, and the movesets, of course. Let's go. Yeah, first I gotta figure out, I almost forgot how to freaking use this phone. Hold on real quick. All right, here we are. So Chrajabug first on the list. This is our Chrajabug here with Volt Switch, X-Scissor, and as well as Discharge. IV wise, not the best. I'm gonna let you know right now, most of these IVs for all these Pokemon are not gonna be good whatsoever. Essentially, she does not use this account all that much, so I pretty much have to use what she has, so it is what it is. But yes, Chrajabug, oops, almost I clicked off of it before I actually went through the moveset here. But Chrajabug, Volt Switch, X-Scissor, Discharge, those are the IVs. That's what we got from that. And then next on the list, of course, we have Jellicent here with Hex, Surf, and as well as Shadow Ball. These are IVs for that one. Actually pretty similar to my IVs on my account, which is actually pretty funny, but really high IVs for that Jellicent. Obviously not optimal PvP IVs. You want low attack, high defense, high HP. And then last but not least, we also have our Pidgeot, PG, which for some reason it's labeled Pidgey here because I forgot to change the name, of course. But we got Gust, Feather Dance, and as well as Brave Bird. Now I know a lot of people are using Fury Cutter, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot what you call it. Not Aerial Ace. Some people are also using Aerial Ace as well. Basically we're using a bait move and as well as Brave Bird. Pretty much one of the older movesets Pidgeot had, but essentially it still worked for us in this league, which you're going to see shortly. And these are the IVs for the Pidgeot. Actually really decent IVs actually for the Pidgeot, unlike the rest of the team here. But that is the team, that is what we're working with, and it's not even a Shadow Pidgeot that actually did really well, which is insane. Oh, we got an egg. Before we actually get into the battle, we got an egg. Might as well hatch it, right? I don't know how long she's been holding on to that egg. But it has horrible IV, so we're gonna delete it. Anyway, let's get into the battles. Let's go. All right, starting the battles off now. Yeah, basically started off at 2076. I think I ended today at about 2200, which is really nice using this exact same team, which is insane. So if you are lower elo, this actually could work out for you. But anyway, we got Chrajabug versus the Clefable here. Now exactly not sure how much damage the Clefable is actually going to be able to do the Chrajabug. Most of the moves that it's going to have Meteor Mash and as well as Moonblast, essentially doing probably going to do a decent amount of damage, especially the Moonblast for sure. So I do have to be cautious here. Basically already getting the health down on the Clefable, already very low. I think the Clefable's over farming here, but I don't know if they underestimated that we were able to get 2 discharge already, but essentially we did get a shield, which is very nice. They are going to start hitting us with their charge moves here. We're just going to shield it just in case. It is the Moonblast. Not sure how much damage it was going to do, but we're going to shield it anyway. Might as well. They use the shield, might as well use a shield back. They switch in with a Greedent. I have not seen a Greedent in the Great League in so freaking long. A lot of people are using a a lot of people are using a bunch of different Pokemon in the Great League Remix, just because with Great League Remix, like, you know, of course the top meta is not going to be in the Great League Remix, which is very nice, so you're able to experiment with a lot of Pokemon. They are going to go off with a Crunch. I knew Greedent was going to have that freaking Crunch, man. But anyway, we are going to be able to use Surf here. That is the beauty of Jellicent. Even though Astonish is going to be non-effective against the normal typing of the Greedent, we are still going to be able to do a ton of damage with the Surf. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to get to another charge move, but we are going to hold off and actually not use a shield here. We're just going to let the Jellicent go and go right back into the Chrajabug. Might as well just build up some energy just in case the Clefable comes back in, and unfortunately they get to another charge move. Now, Chrajabug, the beauty of a Chrajabug, it's very tanky, so Crunch coming through, not doing that much damage, which is very nice. Well, a decent amount of damage anyway. Ooh, we catch onto the Clefable, which is very unfortunate there. Basically our energy is going to be wasted onto the Clefable, which is very unfortunate. But beauty of Chrajabug with the Volt Switch, we are going to be able to get to another X-Scissor, which is going to be very nice, which should do a decent amount of damage to this Swampert, which is very nice. And we switch into our Pidgeot. Now, since this is not Shadow, we should be able to take a Hydro Cannon, no problem. It's still going to do a decent amount of damage, but yeah, basically almost a half. But their quick move does not do that much damage, so very nice on our part that essentially we don't have a Shadow here, which is nice. We're going to shield this next Hydro Cannon up. Obviously, it's going to take us out here, which we definitely want to keep our Pidgeot alive. Now, at this point, I probably could have just, I really could have just, like, farmed the rest of the way of this Swampert down, but, yeah, basically, I basically ended up having them use their last shield, but we were able to farm it the rest of the way down with the Gust, and we got the KO. I don't know why, I'm just stumbling on my words here, but anyway... we won that game with this A team, this B team, C team. Anyway, this is an anti-meta team that just works in this league. Just very surprised that it works so well. But as you can see, already doing some numbers. But as I said, this is lower ace rank, so of course people are going to have a bunch of different Pokemon here. So definitely keep that in mind. But anyway, we got the Chrajabug versus the Tentacruel. They end up switching out into the Furret. And then now we have the Furret against our Pidgeot. Definitely did not want to switch into the Jellicent, and definitely wanted to keep my Chrajabug alive. Now, to be fair, I probably could have just kept the Chrajabug in, taking out the Furret, because Furret does have a little bit of play here with the, you know, the Dark Quick move, and as well as being able to use Swift. Swift is going to do a decent amount of, you know, natural, no, I should say natural. It's going to be able to do a decent amount of damage, of course, to my Pidgeot. So we do have to be cautious here. Basically, going to use a Feather Dance to debuff them, and we get the shield, which is very nice here. Bonus of actually using Feather Dance, we don't have to use shields all the time, and we can typically survive a lot of moves, which we are planning on doing here. Swift coming through, we are going to be able to survive it. Let's see if we can get to another charge move. Unfortunately, we cannot get to another charge move, but it is fine. We're going to switch back into the the Chrajabug, and this is a debuff Furret, so we are not going to be afraid of any charge moves that's coming our way from this Furret here, especially since Chrajabug, as I said, is very bulky. Swift coming through, and basically we have back-to-back charge moves right now, so it's very nice. Let's see what they bring in. They bring back in another normal type, Licky. That's also the first time I've actually seen a Licky in the Great League Remix Cup, which is kind of crazy, right? But good thing we still have the Jellicent left over, because the Jellicent is going to work perfectly against this Tentacruel here. As you can see, basically going to be able to absorb all the poison jabs, and as well if they have if they have Scold, and as well if they have Acid Spray or anything like that, we're going to be able to take that no problem here. I forgot what the Sludge Wave, also the other charge move that they have that will be non-effective, as I am Ghost and as well as a water type Pokemon. That is the beauty of actually having a Jellicent comparatively to any other obviously ghost type Pokemon that we have out here. It just works really well against the poison water type Pokemon, especially like a Toxapex, anything like that. But anyway, we knock out the Tentacruel, building up a whole bunch of energy here, getting to another Surf as they switch into the Licky. Surf gonna do a decent amount of damage. Let's see if they let it go. They do, and we switch right back into our Chrajabug. Now, the thing is about the Chrajabug is it is going to take super effective damage of the rollout, so its quick move is going to do super effective damage to us, but it is still pretty bulky, so we should be able to at least hopefully get to another charge move before they end up taking us out here. I don't actually want to use a shield here because I feel like the Jellicent has a little bit more play, and they use Shadow Ball. I was thinking that they were going to bait us with the Body Slam or something like that, but unfortunately that was not the case. But anyway, I know Body Slam is going to be non-effective against the Jellicent, and they have to build up again to the Shadow Ball, so we are going to be able to get to the Surf and take out that Licky. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. But yeah, Jellicent, man, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 for 2 right now. It's basically taking out every last Pokemon that's left. Jellicent has been amazing throughout this whole season, not gonna lie. Like, it's a sleeper pick. For anybody who's not using Jellicent, just know it's freaking amazing, alright? Even against normal type users is insane. Shadow Palkia, oh my goodness. We're going in against the Shadow Palkia against the Chrajabug. Let's see who is the dominant Pokemon here. As you can see, the Dragon Breath's doing a tremendous amount of damage to us, which is insane. We are gonna have to shield this just because Aqua Tail is gonna do too much. Between Aqua Tail as well as Dragon Breath, gonna do too much damage to this Chrajabug here. So yeah, so basically we're just going to get off a discharge, most likely going to get a shield back since we already use a shield, and basically what I'm going to try to do is just build up to another discharge, and we're going to throw that discharge, see if they use their last shield here, and then basically when they use the last shield, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to switch, or swap anyway. We end up swapping into the Jellicent because Jellicent is definitely going to be able to take the Aqua Tail, no problem. They end up switching into a Swampert, so this is a double water team, well, water ground as well as water dragon, which is kind of cool there actually. I wonder if their third Pokemon is also going to be a water type, not sure. We do get to the Shadow Ball, basically destroying the Swampert's health, which is insane. I'm actually surprised they let that go. Well, actually no, they had no choice, they have no shields. But anyway, Hydro Cannon coming through, basically going to be able to take that no problem, building up some energy on getting another Surf, and as well as I believe I'm already to a Shadow Ball. Oh, one more to a Shadow Ball. They get to their charge move onto the Shadow Palkia. I'm thinking to myself, do I just let it go? And I do let it go here. I'm thinking I can tank it, yes, and I do end up tanking it, which is very nice. Overkill with the Shadow Ball. Probably could have took it out with the Surf, but I wanted to be sure to take it out, and boom, we hit it with the Shadow Ball, taking out their Palkia. What do they have left? They have a freaking Charizard. Oh my goodness, Shadow Charizard. Probably another sleeper pick, not gonna lie. I haven't really seen that many people using Shadow Charizard in the Great League Remix Cup, but it is a flying and a fire type, so you know, if you don't have Talonflame, might as well use Charizard, right? But it is very much more fragile than it is the Talonflame, so we are going to be able to get to a Brave Bird, which is again pretty overkill for the most part, because Brave Bird, I mean, even if I just had an Aerial Ace, would have took this Charizard out, but we ended up winning that game. Let's go. I believe that's 3 games in a row that we've won. But Pidgeot for the win on that last battle, which is freaking awesome. So yeah, so even regular Pidgeot, even though it's not Shadow, actually has some play in this meta, which is actually pretty cool. But no fighters yet. We have not encountered any fighters yet. I've noticed, especially on my account, there's a bunch of Pangoros, which I will be building a team with Pangoro here. But I'm trying not to use the same teams I've seen other creators use. But anyway, we have Chrajabug versus Tinkaton. We switch in to our Jellicent here. Jellicent's going to be able to absorb whatever charge move they end up throwing to us here, which is going to be still unfortunate because we definitely don't want the... oh, they actually just used Bulldoze, which is nice. They actually bait us with the Bulldoze here. But Jellicent, pretty bulky, so it's going to be able to tank whatever move the Tinkaton has there, but looks like they end up switching out here into a Vigoroth. Okay, we are using basically all the classic Pokemon here. Vigoroth here, which is a very interesting pick because I believe their main charge move is Rock Slide, which I don't think Rock Slide is going to do that much damage to me. Let's see what else they have. Will they use a Rock Slide? I'm not sure. Let's see what it actually ends up being here. Body Slam. I have no clue why they use Body Slam. You can tell this is very much lower elo players. Like, why are you using Body Slam? I was not even going to shield even if they use Rock Slide, so I have no clue why they're doing that. But yeah, we basically end up conserving the Jellicent here. Might as well pull it to the back. Rock Slide is not the strongest move anymore. Even if they use it, oh god, okay, it took a little bit more than half. I probably could have just stayed in there with Jellicent, but that's fine. We're basically just going to keep the Jellicent alive because I want to use it towards the end here. Might be very useful for us. We end up taking out the Vigoroth, which is very nice because we know for sure the Chrajabug's going to have a little bit more of a challenge going against this Tinkaton, as it is a part steel type. Bulldoze comes through. Probably could have tanked the Bulldoze there. I was second guessing myself just because I know Bulldoze isn't the strongest move, but they could have also been using Play Rough. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but glad we kept our Jellicent alive because they bring in a freaking Claydol. Let's go. Claydol is going to be hit with this Surf unless they end up shielding here, which I don't think they do. They have any more shields? Yeah, there it is. There's the last shield there. And yeah, at this point we're just going to let it go. Our Chrajabug, I believe, still has energy. Oh, never mind. We end up shielding here. We end up shielding. Oh, because we're close to another Surf. But we couldn't get to the freaking Surf, bro. So close to the Surf. Almost had the Surf there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And yeah, we are out of shields now. So this Rock Tomb is going to hurt onto this Pidgeot. But we definitely did not want it to actually take out our Chrajabug there. So that is why we pivoted into our Pidgeot. And they try to catch on to the Tinkaton. So basically we end up switching back into our Chrajabug. And Chrajabug is going to be hit probably with the Bulldoze here. Most likely KOing it. Which it does. Which is fine. Because basically Tinkaton should be at a very low HP. So I should be able to gust it the rest of the way down. And get to a Brave Bird. Which the Brave Bird should definitely be KOing the Claydol as they have no more shields left. Let's see, does it give us the KO? Boom! KO the Claydol, and we end up winning that match. Pidgeot coming in clutch yet again, and literally we haven't even had a Pidgeot versus a Ghost type yet. We haven't had a Pidgeot versus a we haven't had a Pidgeot versus a Ghost yet. We haven't had a Pidgeot versus a fighter yet. Like, this is crazy. Now, I did, like, when I played the rest of these sets, I did encounter more fighters, more traditional Pokemon you would see more towards, like, higher ace rank, but, like, it's just funny how much I did not see that much when I recorded this battle. But anyway, here's our fighters. Speak of the devil, we have Primeape in the lead versus our Chrajabug, which is fine, because Chrajabug should be able to take a, close combat if it has a close combat, or the Rage Fist, regardless, whichever one, it's definitely going to be able to take it, no problem. We end up switching into the Pidgeot, basically. Since they already gave us shields, might as well go into the Pidgeot. We can shield if we need to. They switch into the Dust Noir. Now, this is where Pidgeot shines, because Dust Noir doing nothing with the Astonish or Hex damage that it's doing here, which is fine with me. We're gonna throw a Feather Dance, and they end up quitting because they must not have any play against this Pidgeot. And yeah, we end up winning that battle, and that was our last set of this this was the last set of these matches that I played here that I recorded. But yeah, as you can see, a 5-0 set. This team worked phenomenally for me. As I said, I moved from 2070, what is that? 2070 something to 2074 all the way to 2200 with this team. This team actually worked out pretty phenomenally for me. I mean, if you want to use Shadow, you can use Shadow. As I said, non-Shadow Pidgeot actually did pretty good in terms of like tanking hits, which is really nice. And you know, of course, if you're going against something that's super effective against the Pidgeot, regardless of it being Shadow, like you know, obviously Fighters is going to do really well. And as I said, Chrajabug really good. Unfortunately, you weren't able to see X-Scissor against any of the Psychic types like Claydol or anything like that, but it does pack a punch when it comes to Grumpig and as well as Claydol, which is very nice. And then last but not least, Jellicent. Oh my god, Jellicent is just super bulky. Even against the normal types, being able to spam Surf really fast is just, it works phenomenally in this league. But anyway, that is it. Those are the battles. Let me know what you guys think of the team down below. And if you want more battles from my wife's account, definitely let me know that as well, because it is kind of fun actually picking apart different Pokemon that I typically would not use in the Great League, you know what I'm saying? So it is pretty fun to actually do. But anyway, definitely let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps the channel grow. And I'll see you guys in the next one, on the road to 800 subs, man. Can't wait, man. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.